today we will see the graphs of the function and the types of the function. So simultaneously you will see the types of the function and the graphs of the function. Okay. So what do you mean by graph of the function? Suppose f is a real valued function. So that means what? F is from a to r. It is a real valued function where a is the subset of the set of the real number. Okay. So the graph of the function is a subset of r cross r. It is a subset of r cross r. That means what? The set of all points x, y such that x will the set of all points x may be the set of all ordered pair x, y such that x is in the A and this y is equal to f of x. So that is the real. So because this is a real valued function. Now we'll see the types with the graph, types with graphs of the function. So first is constant function. Constant function. Constant function. Okay. Right definition. A function. Yeah, from we'll take r to r now here, because we can plot the graph of the real valued function. Okay. So where what domain should be the subset of r. A function f from r to r is called a constant function. Is called a constant function if f of x is equal to c for all x belongs to r, c belongs to r. So you will see, okay, no need to say the c is real number, because what here? So because it is a real value function. That means what? Every element has the same image. Every element has same image c. Then such function is called constant function. So how we can plot the graph of the constant function? Suppose this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. This is, suppose the value of y is c here. Okay. So here what? 1, 2, 3, something like this, 4 and dot dot dot. Okay. So image of 0 is also c now here. Image of 0. F of 0 is c. F of 1 is c. Okay. F of 1 is c. F of 2 is also c. F of 3. All the elements lie between 1 and 2. Their image is also c. So this is the what? This is the line. This is the line. This is what? Y is equal to c, or f of x is equal to c. Okay. This is the graph of the function. So you may say this is what? Instead of y, you may say this is y actually. So this is what? F of x is equal to c. This is the graph. Okay. So this is what? The line parallel to x-axis with y-intercept is c. Right. So that is what? It is parallel to x-axis. This is a constant function. Then next type is linear function. Linear function. Linear function. A function f from r to r, f from r to r is called a linear function. Is called a linear function if it is defined as f of x is equal to ax plus b, where a b belongs to r. A and b are the real number. A not equal to 0. A not equal to 0. So then this is called a linear function. Okay. How to plot a graph of this linear function? So suppose this is y, this is x. Okay. So this is what? Y is equal to x plus b. Y is equal to x plus b. X is equal to 0 implies that y is equal to b, and y is equal to 0 implies that x is equal to y is equal to 0 implies that x is equal to minus b upon a. Minus b upon a. So suppose minus b upon a is somewhere. This is what? Minus b upon a. And suppose this is what? B now. Suppose this is b. Okay. So now this is a negative, but what? This may be positive. Doesn't matter. So this is what? Minus b upon. You can take minus b here. Okay. No problem for this one. So you can join this one. So if you want, this is negative. So you may take this as what here? Suppose both a and b are positive, both a and b are negative, then this will what? So suppose we'll take minus b here, or you may take minus b upon it here also. So then this is what? Then this will be the straight line. you have to draw a straight line. Okay, this is a straight line. Okay, so this is what f of x is equal to ax plus b. For example, if you have the function f of x is equal to twice x plus 3, twice x plus twice x minus 6, twice x minus 6. Okay, so let y is equal to twice x minus 6. Okay, x is equal to 0 implies that y is equal to minus 6. Y is equal to 0 implies that x is equal to, if it is a linear function, then put x is equal to, find x intercept and y intercept. To find x intercept, put y is equal to 0. To find y intercept, put x is equal to 0, and to find x intercept, put y is equal to 0. So that means what? Because what, this is a line, linear function is a line. So if you got the 2 points on the line, then you can draw the line. So to draw the line, 2 points are enough. So that means what? To draw a line, just find x intercept and y intercept. Okay, so then y is equal to 0, then x is equal to 3 now. X is equal to 3. So how we can plot the graph of this function? So this is what? This is your y axis, this is your x axis. Okay, so now on x you need the 3. This is 3. Okay? So and on y this is minus 6. So minus 6 is somewhere here. Minus 6 somewhere. And just draw these 2 points. That means what? Draw this line. Okay. So this is your graph of the function is what? Twice x minus 6. Okay. So just linear function is the straight line. The graph of the linear function is the straight line passing through the x intercept and y intercept. Okay. Next, quadratic function. Quadratic function. A function f from a r to r, a function f from r to r. You want real valued function. Domain is also real number. A function f from r to r is called a quadratic function. Is called a quadratic function if it is defined as f of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. A, B, C belongs to R. They are the real number, and your coefficient of x square is not equal to 0. Your coefficient of x square should not be 0. Whatever the b may be 0, c may be 0. Doesn't matter for b and c, but b and c should be the real number. Okay, if they occur, they should be real. If b is 0, doesn't matter. C is 0, doesn't matter. But a is 0, then it will not a quadratic. Okay. So now, how to plot a graph of the quadratic equation? So we'll take a particular values of a, b, c, and we'll plot a graph of the particular function that f of x is equal to Suppose we'll take the graph is what? Twice x square plus 3x plus 5. Okay. So this will be y now. We'll plot a graph of this function. Okay. So what we'll do? So we know that this is a quadratic function. The graph of the quadratic function is a parabola. It is parabola. So it is parabola. So we'll find this is what. So we'll do this is what? Y is equal to, I will take these two common. So this is what? X square plus 3 by 2 x plus 5. Okay. So y is equal to, I will write this x square as x perfect square. I will do this as a perfect square. Okay. Plus 3 by 4 bracket square. Then minus 9 by 4 I have to write here 9 by 16 now. Plus 5. I have to write 9 by 16. Now see, if you expand this, what we get? X square plus 3 by 2 x plus 9 by 4 minus 9 by 4. So plus 9 by 4 plus 9 by 16 minus 9 by 16 get cancelled. You get this one. Okay. So this is the perfect square method. So this is what? Y is equal to 2 x plus 3 by 4 square minus. So you have to take these two inside. So you have to take these two inside. So what we get then? Okay, so this is what then? minus 9 by 8 minus 9 by plus 5. Okay, so this is what then y is equal to 2 into x plus 3 by 4 square, 3 by 4 square minus become plus now. This is 40. 40 minus 9 is the 31. 31 by 8. Okay, so now this is what y minus 31 by 8 is equal to 2 into x plus 3 by 4 square. X plus 3 by okay, so this is the parabola. This is the standard equation of the parabola. Okay, so now vertex is x is what here then minus 3 by 4 and 31 by 8. This is your vertex. This is the vertex of the parabola, and where it intersects to the x-axis and y-axis, that we will see now. So for x is equal to 0. For x is equal to 0, directly we put x is equal to 0 here, so y is equal to 5. So y is equal to 0 implies that y is equal to 0. This implies that. So it becomes very complicated. So if y is equal to 0, then this is what? So for y, it does not intersect to the y-axis. Because what? Y is equal to 0. So then x do not belong to R now. Because what here? We get a negative number. We get a negative number. So it do not intersect to the x. It do not intersect to the x-axis. Okay. So we have to plot a graph such that it do not intersect to the x-axis. Okay. So how to draw a graph of this one? Now your x square is positive. X square is positive. So your graph is upward direction now. So what here? Minus 3 by 4. So minus 3 by 4 is in the second. This point is in the second quadrant. Okay. So now here what? Somewhere here now. Okay. So now y is equal to what? 5. So this is what? Y is equal to 5. You have to draw the graph of this one such way that like this. Okay. So this is your graph of the function. This is your 5. So now this is your what? So you may write here what? Minus 3 by 4. And here what? This point is what? 31 by 8. 31 by 8. No need to write actually this. This is your x. Okay. So now what? Here what? Intersect to the y. So it should be the vertex should be the below 5 now. Vertex should be the below 5. Now see, this is what? 31 by 8 is the less than 5 now. Okay. Now this is graph of the linear function, with the quadratic function. Okay. In this way you can plot a graph of the quadratic function. Okay. So we'll do one more problem on the graph of the quadratic function. Okay. So we'll take a problem. F of x is equal to, suppose we will take this problem, twice x square minus 8x minus 8x plus 6 minus 8x plus 6. Okay. Now this is your y now. We have to plot a graph of the quadratic function. So we have to convert this into standard form. Okay. So now this is what y. I will take divide by 2 now. I will write here y by 2 then. Okay. So y by 2. Actually no need to take the y by 2. Okay. So this is what? X square minus 4x plus 3 now. So how you can write y by 2? Okay. Just write y by 2 here now. So this is what? X minus 2 bracket square minus 4. Minus 4 plus 3. Plus 3. Okay. So now this is what? Y by 2 is equal to x minus 2. How to do this one? How to do this one? Just make a coefficient of x square as 1. Right? Write x square as x. Then whatever the middle sign, just write middle sign. Right? So multiply by half to the coefficient of x. Multiply half to the coefficient of x. So we get 2 here. Whatever the coefficient may be here. If it is minus 5, then write that minus 5 by 2. If it is simplified, then simplify this. Okay, so if number is divided by 2, then simplify this. If it is not, if you cannot simplify, that means suppose this is an odd number, whatever the coefficient may be, you are making the coefficient of x square as 1, just take that common. So last time we have taken 2 common, you have to divide by 2 then. Okay, make a coefficient of x square is 1. Okay, so if you make a coefficient of here, what we have divided by 2 to both sides now here, so that we get a coefficient of x square as 1. So write x square as x now. Whatever the middle sign is as it is now. Whatever this is what the coefficient of x, just divide by 2. If it is divisible by 2, just simplify the ratio. If it is not divisible by 2, then okay. So just multiply by half and simplify that ratio. So we get 2 now. And subtract whatever this sign plus or minus, subtract the square of that one. Okay. So if you simplify this one, what we get then? X square minus 4x plus 4. And this minus 4 get cancelled, we get this one. Okay. So we'll get this. Okay. Minus 9. So we'll multiply by 2 now here. So this is what? Twice x minus 2 square minus 2. Just shift this. This is plus 2. 2x minus 2 square. So what is the vertex? Vertex is x is what? 2 and this is what? Minus 2. You have to change the sign now. This is minus, so take plus. If it is plus, then take minus. This is your vertex of the parabola. This is the vertex of the. Note that the quadratic equation, the quadratic function is, graph of the quadratic function is always a parabola. Okay, so only the problem is what? Whether it is upward and if the coefficient of this is minus, then your parabola is downward. So if this is minus sign, that means if your x square is minus, x square has a minus sign, then your parabola is a downward parabola. If x square has a positive sign, then your parabola is a upward parabola. Okay, so this is okay vertex. Now we have to find the intersect, where it intersects to the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, so if y is equal to 0, implies that. So your y is equal to 0. So y is equal to 0. See, y is equal to 0. Then this is what? X minus 2 bracket square is equal to what? Y is equal to 0. Then this is 2, this is 1 then. This is 1. Okay. So then what? X minus 2 is equal to plus or minus 1. So x is equal to. So what? Plus or minus 1 plus 2. So if you take the plus sign, then this will be 3. And if you take the minus sign, then it will be the 1. Okay. So that means what? Then x is equal to 3, 1. Okay. So if x is equal to 0, if y is equal to 0, this. If x is equal to 0, implies that x is directly you can put here now. If x is equal to 0, you can put directly here x is equal to 0, y is equal to 6. Y is equal to 6. That means what? This graph is passing through is what? 3, 0, 1, 0, and 0, 6 now. 0, 6. 0, 6. Now see, you have to plot this graph now. This is your x-axis, this is your y. Now see, the values of x are 3 and 1. So this is 1, this is 3. Okay. Value of y is 6 now. And what is your vertex? Your vertex is 2 minus 2. So 2 minus 2. So 2 is here now. And minus 2 is somewhere here. This is your vertex. And it goes to the x-axis and y-axis. That means what? Your parabola is like this. Okay, so I cannot draw this graph neatly. Okay, just first we will draw the graph and then we will draw the point then. This is the parabola. This is your vertex. 2 minus 2. This is 3. This is 1. And this is what? 6. This is your origin. This is your x-axis. This is your required parabola. Okay. In this way, you can draw any parabola or any graph of the quadratic function. Polynomial function. Polynomial function. a function of the form of the form f of x is equal to a naught plus a1x plus a2x square dot plus an x to the power n. That means what? The power of x is increasing and it is a natural. Power of x is increasing and it is a natural. All the powers of x are natural here. Okay. So it's called a polynomial function. Is called a polynomial function of degree n. So whatever the maximum power of x is nothing but the maximum power of x is n. That is the degree of the polynomial. Okay. So it's very complicated to draw a graph of the polynomial function. It depends on this. So we'll not plot a graph of the polynomial function. So this is what if see this a2 all the things are 0, then this is a linear function. This a2 dot is 0, then this is linear function. If a1 a2 dot 0, then this is a constant function. So if a3 they are 0, then this is a quadratic function. So we have drawn the graph of the constant function, linear function, and a linear function is also a polynomial function. The quadratic function is also a polynomial function. Okay. So we'll write the note constant function, constant, linear, quadratic functions are polynomial functions. But not vice versa. Because for polynomial function, degree is not restricted. But for constant function, linear function, quadratic function, degree is restricted. Okay. So therefore, they are the polynomial function. But any polynomial function will not be a quadratic function, linear function. This is not a vice versa. Okay. So for constant function, you may say this is a polynomial function. Linear function, you may say this is a polynomial function. This is the example of a polynomial function of degree 1. Linear function is what? A polynomial function of degree 1 is called a linear function. A polynomial function of degree 2 is called a quadratic function. You may define the quadratic function in terms of the polynomial function. Okay. Now next, a rational function. This is very important. Rational function. A function f from R to R defined as f of x is equal to p of x upon q of x, where both p of x and q of x are polynomial functions. A function f from R to R defined as f of x is equal to p of x upon q of x, where both p of x and q of x are polynomial function, is called a rational function. Rational function. So obviously q of x not equal to 0. Is called a rational function. Okay. So we know that this rational function is continuous everywhere except at 0, that the denominator. So this is very important. The type of the function is very important. The rational function. We want to discuss the continuity of that rational function. Okay. So that we will see in the later one. So next function is what? Exponential function. Exponential function. A function f from R to R of the form f of x is equal to a raised to x a not equal to 0, not a not equal to 1 and a greater than 0 is called exponential function. How to plot a graph of the exponential function? See that. Suppose this is y-axis, x-axis. Okay. Now suppose f of x is equal to 2 raised to x. Suppose. Now if x is equal to 0, the value is always 1 now. Note that exponential function is a positive valued function. Okay. So your graph of that function is like this. Graph of the function is like this. Okay. So this is the exponential function. So if it is minus x, then the graph of this function will be like this. Right. So this is what? 2 raised to x. Suppose f of x is equal to 2 raised to minus x. Then the graph of this function this is always passing through 1 now. Right? Because if x is equal to 0, then this is 1 now. Like this now. It is what? Tends to 0. That means what? It touching to the so actually it will not be 0, it will not be touched to the x-axis, but it is what? Approximately it goes to the 0 now. Okay? 2 to the power minus infinity. So this is what? Plus minus infinity is what? It tends to plus infinity now. Okay? So this is the graph of 2 raised to minus x now. Then logarithmic function. So a function f of x is equal to log of x to the base a. Note that a not equal to 1 and a is positive. X is also greater than 0. Each called logarithmic function. Okay, called logarithm. Then you know the trigonometric function, sin x, cos x, and these are the trigonometric functions. Okay. Then the important thing is what? Absolute value function. This is very important. Absolute value function means what? The mod x. This is the absolute value function. Absolute value function is what? Is itself x if x is positive, itself 0 if x is 0, and this is the minus x less than 0. That means if x is negative, see that mod of x. So what is mod of minus 2? Is what? Minus of minus 2 by this definition. Okay. So mod of 5. So 5 is positive, then it is itself now. So what is mod of minus 7? So minus 7 is negative now. Minus. So what is the value? Minus of minus 7. So this will be 7. Now see, we get a positive value. Absolute value function is a positive value function. That means what? Suppose x minus 2 is there. X mod of x minus 2. Okay. So if x less than 2, if x less than 2, then x minus 2 is what? X minus 2 is less than 0. That means what? Your x minus 2 is negative. So value of this, if you don't want the mod, and if you know x minus 2 is negative, that means if you know the x is less than 2, then you can write directly this is what? Minus of x minus 2. So this is what? 2 minus x. Because x minus 2 is negative. Now if your x is greater than 2, if your x is greater than 2, then your x minus 2 is positive now. So mod of x minus 2 is same as just x minus 2. Just x minus 2. So in this way you can obtain, you can remove this modulus sign if you know the range of the x's. Okay. So whatever the x minus 2, if you know the sign of x minus 2 is positive or negative, note that the mod of negative number is the minus of that one. Okay. So this is minus of that one because your x minus 2 is negative. So take the care of this one now, whether x is positive or not. Okay. So if x is positive, then mod of the positive number is itself. If x is negative, then the mod of x will be the minus x. Note that mod of x is equal to minus x. So this is the minus sign, it is not a negative. Now this x is negative, then minus x is what? Positive. If x is negative, then minus x is positive now. So minus sign is not for the negative representation now here. So minus x is not a power. You cannot say minus x is positive or minus x is negative. Okay. So if you know the value of x is positive or negative, then only you can discuss about the positiveness or negativeness of the minus x. Okay. So for minus x, so there is a minus sign, therefore minus x is negative. This is not correct. Okay. So minus x is positive or negative, it is depend on the value of x. Okay. If x is positive, then minus x is negative. If x is negative, then minus x is positive. Note that. Next, piecewise defined function. Piecewise defined function. Now suppose your function is from minus 3 to 8, defined as f of x is equal to x square minus 3 less than 0 less than 0, twice x plus 3, 0 less than x less than 3 less than 2. Okay. So this is good. And x square upon 3 minus twice x plus 5 if 2 this is less than x less than or equal to 8 now. So minus 3 is there. So we write this. So see, this is minus 3 and 8. Minus 3, 8. This is your domain. Domain is what? Minus 3. So this is piecewise. So for minus 3 to 0, there is another function. For 2, now see, these two are not equal now here. Okay. So for this 2 is equal, well, if it is strictly less than 2, then there should be the 2. Because 2 lies between minus 3 and 2. Okay. So this is a piecewise. That means what? Between 0 and 2, your function is this. Between 2 and 8, your function is this. Okay. So now what? Suppose now this is what they say. The graph will be also changed now. Minus 3, 0, then this is 2. The graph part of this one, the part of this one, the part of this one. There are 3 parts of the graph then. Okay. There are 3 parts of the graph. They may be joined or may not be joined. So suppose what? Suppose your what? This is 0, this is minus 3, this is 2, and this is what? 8. Now the graph may be like this, and the graph of this may be like this, and the graph of this one may be like this. May like this, no problem. May like this. That means what? It may start from this one like this. So these are the 3 graphs now here. Okay. For this function, for minus 3, there is another function for. So your graph will be just like as a piecewise now. Okay. Increasing function. A function f from R to R is said to be increasing function increasing function. If x1 less than x2 implies that f of x1 less than f of x2 for all x1 x2 belong to R. For all x1 x2 belong to R. Okay, so decreasing function. Decreasing function. Decreasing function. A function means what here? The values of x are increasing. The values of x are increasing. The values of the function is also increasing. Values of the function is also increasing. Then that is called increase. A function f from R to R is called decreasing function. Is called decreasing function. R is said to be decreasing function. Is said to be or is called decreasing function if x1 less than x2 implies that f of x1 greater than f of x2. That means what? The values of x are increasing, but the values of the functions are decreasing. Okay, so graph of the increasing function is like this. So this is your y-axis. The graph of the increasing function is like this. So see, the values of x are increasing. The height of the function is also increasing. The graph of the decreasing function is like this. So this is like this. This is your x-axis, y-axis. That means what? The values of x are increasing, but the height of x is what? Decreasing. The values of f of x are decreasing. So values of x are increasing. Then this is the Newton's law of the cooling, right? So that means what? Newton's law of the temperature versus the time. Okay, as time increases, your temperature decreases. So that is the graph of the decreasing function. Newton's law of the cooling. Okay, so this is the decreasing graph of the decreasing function. So this is the graph of the. So this is your over versus run. If over are increasing, your runs are also increasing. So this is the graph of the. So this is what this is over and this is the run. Okay, in cricket you will see the graph of this increasing function. Okay. Now even function and R function. This is the last point. Okay, even function and R function. This is very important now. Even function. Even function. A function f from R to R is called even function. Even function if f of minus x is equal to f of x for all x belongs to R. So that means what? F of minus x is same as f of x. Okay. So now you will see this example is what? F of x is equal to cos x. Cos x plus x square, suppose write this, plus 5x to the power 4, even power if you take this. Now see f of minus x, cos of minus theta is cos theta. So now this x square minus x square is x square. This is the example of a even function, because what? F of minus x, so cos of minus x plus minus x square plus 5 minus x raised to 4. So this is what? Cos of minus x is cos x plus x square plus x to the power 4. So now this is your f of x. This is, so therefore f is an even function. F is an even function. Okay. Now we'll see R function. R function. Okay. So R function is same thing now here. What? A function f from R to R is called R function. So if f of minus x is minus f of x now. Okay. R function. Okay. A function f from R to R is called, or is said to be, is called R function. Is called R function if f of minus x is same as f of minus x, minus of f of x. So that is what, suppose this is function f of x is equal to sin x. It is the best example of the odd function. Cos x is the example of the even function. If they ask what is the example of the even function, just say cos x is the even function. Similarly, sec x is the even function. Tan x is the odd function. Okay, sin x and tan x, they are the odd function. Okay, obviously the cosec x and cot function, they are the odd functions now here. Okay, so f of x is sin x is is odd function. Is odd function. Is odd function. So these are the types of the function. So I hope that you understand how to plot a graph of the function, quadratic function and linear function. This is a very important here. Okay, so I hope that you understand all those things. We will stop here. Thank you.